Have you ever found yourself in a tough situation where someone publicly disrespected you? Maybe it was a tactless, sarcastic remark made in front of others, or an awkward joke that left you feeling undervalued and humiliated. In moments like these, have you ever wondered, how should I respond in a way that not only maintains my dignity, but actually earns respect, even from those who often disregard others? You're not alone. Most of us have experienced moments like this. The good news is, you have more control than you might realize over how you handle them. In this video, we'll explore effective tips and psychological techniques rooted in the timeless wisdom of Stoic philosophy. These strategies will not only help you calmly navigate difficult situations, but also empower you to gain respect and affirm your self-worth. Stick around as we dive into how to respond intelligently and turn uncomfortable moments into opportunities to showcase your strength. Let's start by understanding why these situations happen in the first place. Often, it's not because someone dislikes you or holds a personal grudge. Instead, the issue usually stems from a kind of opportunism. Some people try to elevate themselves by putting others down. They believe that making you seem weak or uncomfortable will make them appear stronger. This behavior isn't limited to workplaces. It happens in social circles and even within families. Stoic philosophy, with its timeless insights, teaches us that respect isn't something you demand or force. It's something you cultivate through your actions and boundaries. As Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. In moments like these, your calmness and confidence are your greatest strengths. But it's not just about handling unpleasant situations. It's also about creating an environment where respect for you becomes natural and unshakable. This means ensuring that no one uses you as a stepping stone to boost their own image. You need to show that you know your worth and won't be shaken by cheap remarks or undermining behavior. First tip: first impressions. First impressions lay the foundation for how you are perceived. Interestingly, they're often shaped more by how you present yourself than by what you say. Imagine this. You're at an important networking event. Someone walks into the room, scans the crowd, and heads toward you. They extend their hand for a greeting, but instead of standing, you remain seated, offering only a quick glance before shaking their hand. Without meaning to, you've conveyed a lack of confidence and suggested that the interaction isn't particularly important to you. Small actions like this have a significant impact on how others perceive you. The Stoics understood this well. Simple gestures, such as standing up and maintaining eye contact during a greeting, aren't just polite. They're powerful expressions of confidence and self-awareness. Rising to greet someone subtly communicates equality, readiness, and mutual respect. It aligns with a key Stoic principle. How you present yourself reflects your values and shapes how others see you. Let me share a story. I once attended a professional seminar where networking was the primary goal. Among the attendees, one individual stood out. Whether he was greeting a senior executive or thanking a waiter for refilling his coffee, he always stood up, made eye contact, and engaged fully. His behavior wasn't flashy or overdone, yet it left a lasting impression. People respected him, not because of what he said, but because of how he carried himself. He effortlessly projected confidence and sincerity. In contrast, there was another attendee who remained seated during every greeting. It wasn't intentional, just a habit. But this minor action created an unspoken barrier. People unconsciously took him less seriously, even though he was just as capable as anyone else in the room. This highlighted an essential truth. Standing up isn't just about politeness. It's about acknowledging the other person's value and asserting your own. The lesson is clear. Rising to greet someone isn't just an act of courtesy. It's a declaration of how you value yourself and others. The Stoics emphasized focusing on what we can control, and in this case, that's your behavior, your presentation, and the way you communicate your worth through small but meaningful actions. To adopt this principle in your life, start with everyday encounters, whether meeting someone in the office, at a cafe, or even during a virtual meeting. Make sure you're fully present. Stand up when greeting someone, maintain eye contact, and project confidence through your body language. These simple gestures don't just earn respect, they emphasize your inherent value, embodying Stoic principles in action. Remember, first impressions aren't just about appearances. They're about showcasing your confidence, self-respect, and respect for others. This is the essence of Stoicism, living with intention, paying attention to the small things, and letting your actions define who you are. So, the next time you meet someone, rise to the occasion, look them in the eye, and let your actions speak louder than words. Second tip, handling interruptions with confidence. When someone interrupts you in public during a conversation, it can feel frustrating and disrespectful. You're trying to make a point, and suddenly someone jumps in, derailing your train of thought. It's tempting to react sharply or get angry, but that often escalates the situation and makes you appear less composed. So, how should you respond? This is where Stoic philosophy offers valuable guidance. True strength doesn't come from controlling others, it comes from controlling yourself. Instead of reacting impulsively, try this. Pause, fix the person with a calm, steady gaze, and let the silence speak for itself. This simple act conveys a stronger message than words ever could. By maintaining a firm and focused gaze, you signal that their behavior is inappropriate and that you won't tolerate being disrespected. This approach not only demonstrates confidence, but also encourages the other person to reflect on their actions without causing unnecessary conflict. I recall a family dinner where I was sharing a funny story, only to be interrupted mid-sentence by a relative eager to share their own anecdote. At first I felt flustered, but instead of cutting them off or reacting angrily, I stopped, looked at them calmly, and waited. The silence lasted only a few seconds, but it was powerful. They quickly realized their mistake, corrected themselves, and allowed me to continue. The rest of the evening went smoothly, and I maintained control of the conversation without any drama. This strategy works especially well in public or group settings. By staying composed and in control, you naturally command attention and respect. There's no need to raise your voice or argue to reclaim your space in the conversation. Your calmness and confidence make your presence stronger. Once the interruption is addressed, resume your point politely but firmly. A simple phrase like, "Let me pick up where I left off," asserts your right to speak while maintaining respect for everyone involved. The goal isn't to embarrass the interrupter, but to set a clear expectation. Respect in communication is non-negotiable. What's remarkable about this approach is that it requires no aggression or intimidation. By staying calm, avoiding anger, and letting your actions do the talking, you demonstrate self-worth in a way that's both meaningful and lasting. Stoicism reminds us that true power lies in self-control, even in challenging moments. When others see you handle interruptions with confidence and intention, they'll respect you more and may even reconsider their own behavior. So the next time someone interrupts you, don't lose your cool. Hold your gaze, stand firm, and let your composure show that you're someone worth listening to. This isn't just about earning respect, it's about expressing your self-worth in a dignified and impactful way. Third tip, handling jokes and humiliation. When someone in your group of friends tries to humiliate you with a joke, your initial instinct might be to feel embarrassed or upset. However, how you respond can shape the entire dynamic of the situation. Stoic philosophy provides powerful tools for staying calm and in control, allowing you to navigate these moments gracefully. I remember once, during a casual meet-up with old friends, one of them decided to mock me by retelling an embarrassing story from our school days. At first, I felt my face flush, and my immediate reaction was to fire back. But then I remembered a key Stoic principle: what doesn't harm your essence isn't worth your concern. Instead of reacting emotionally, I smiled, pretended not to have heard the story, and calmly asked my friend to repeat it. I maintained a composed and slightly curious demeanor. Here's where it gets interesting. When they retold the joke, its impact was significantly diminished. Not only that, but the group began to sense the awkwardness of forcing someone to recount a joke that had already lost its punch. The loud laughter from earlier faded, and the storyteller began to fumble, realizing that their attempt to humiliate me had backfired. The key takeaway here is that asking someone to repeat their joke not only reduces its effect, but also shows that you're unshaken. This approach allows you to maintain your composure while subtly highlighting the other person's inappropriate behavior. More importantly, it shifts the dynamic in your favor without resorting to retaliation or losing your dignity. By taking this route, you send a powerful message. You're someone with inner strength who won't let small provocations dictate your emotions. This is one of the core teachings of Stoic philosophy, maintaining calm and control in the face of life's minor challenges. So how can you apply this principle effectively? Pause and reflect. You don't need to react immediately to every action or comment. Take a breath, think, and choose your response carefully. Use silence. Silence isn't passive. It's a powerful tool. It creates space for the other person to reflect on their words. Respond with calm confidence. When you do respond, keep it composed. A simple, neutral request to have them repeat what they said can be far more impactful than an argument or defensive reply. Stoicism teaches us that our reactions to uncomfortable situations reflect our character and inner values. Every time you remain calm and refuse to engage in negativity, you not only earn the respect of others, but also reinforce your own self-respect. The next time someone mocks you in front of others, remember, you have complete control over how the story ends. With calmness and clarity, you'll always come out on top. Fourth tip, responding with a question. When someone is trying to provoke you or make you angry, a highly effective psychological technique is to respond with a simple question. Have you ever faced a situation where someone deliberately tried to hurt or provoke you, and instead of reacting immediately, you managed to stay composed? Picture this: you're at a family gathering, and someone makes a sharp comment about a failure in your career right in front of everyone. The comment feels like a dagger to your heart, digging into a painful memory you've been trying to move past. Suddenly, all eyes are on you, waiting to see how you'll react. Instead of defending yourself or trying to explain, you take a moment to pause, stay calm, and ask, "Hey, does anyone know a good bakery nearby? I was thinking about picking up something for the next get-together." That simple, unrelated question shifts the energy in the room immediately. The person trying to provoke you is left flustered and unsure of how to proceed. The conversation quickly shifts to a neutral topic, and you've avoided escalating the situation, turning a potentially uncomfortable moment into one that works in your favor. This strategy of asking an unrelated question is more than just a clever tactic. It's a way of reclaiming control over your emotions and the situation. By interrupting the flow of provocation, you redirect attention away from the negative energy and refuse to give the instigator the satisfaction of seeing you upset. It's a perfect example of applying Stoic principles, focusing on what you can control and refusing to let external circumstances dictate your peace of mind. As Epictetus wisely said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." The brilliance of this technique lies in its ability to disrupt negativity without confrontation. A well-timed, unrelated question breaks the provoker's train of thought, making it almost impossible for them to continue their attempt to provoke you. At the same time, you maintain your composure and project confidence and self-control. This is a powerful way to command respect in any social situation. For this technique to work, your tone and demeanor must remain natural. If it seems forced or calculated, it may come across as insincere. Choose a simple, neutral question or comment that fits the moment, something about a nearby restaurant, a recent event, or even a casual observation. The goal isn't to awkwardly dodge the situation, but to subtly shift the conversation with ease. This technique doesn't just work in the moment, it builds long-term resilience and inner strength. By refusing to be dragged into emotional conflicts, you demonstrate to yourself and others that you are in control. People around you will take notice of your composure and respect you for it. More importantly, this strategy helps cultivate the core Stoic value of focusing on what you can control. You can't dictate how others behave, but you can decide how you respond. By doing so, you reinforce your sense of self-worth and send a clear message. You will not let others undermine your peace or dignity. So the next time someone tries to provoke or hurt you with their words, remember this approach. Ask a simple, unrelated question and watch how the dynamic shifts. Not only will you diffuse the tension, but you'll also feel empowered by your ability to rise above it. As Marcus Aurelius wisely reminded us, true power comes from maintaining peace of mind, regardless of external circumstances. By mastering this technique, you'll not only handle challenges with grace, but also elevate the respect others have for you in any situation. Fifth tip, walking away. Let's talk about the fifth and final tip, walking away. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you felt undervalued, disrespected, or completely ignored? It's not a pleasant experience, but sometimes the best way to protect your self-respect is to choose to walk away. Stoic philosophy teaches us that respect isn't something you can demand. It's something you cultivate by understanding your own worth. Sometimes walking away isn't a sign of weakness. It's a powerful demonstration of strength and self-worth. Let me share a story with you. A friend of mine, Sarah, was an exceptional creative professional. She joined a major project at her company, but instead of being recognized for her relentless efforts, she was constantly ridiculed by her manager in front of the team. They interrupted her in meetings, dismissed her ideas, and made her feel as though her contributions didn't matter. At first, Sarah tried even harder, believing she needed to prove herself. But after months of frustration, she realized she didn't need to beg for respect from people who were unwilling to give it. Everything changed during a pivotal meeting. Once again, her idea was brushed aside without explanation. This time, Sarah calmly closed her laptop, stood up, and said she would invest her energy elsewhere, where it was valued. She walked out of the meeting, leaving her colleagues stunned. That same day, she submitted her resignation, not out of anger, but as an act of self-preservation. A few months later, Sarah joined another company in a leadership role, where she was not only respected, but celebrated for her talents. Sarah's story isn't just about leaving, it's about choosing where to invest your energy. Walking away isn't a sign of weakness. On the contrary, it demonstrates that you know your value and refuse to remain in an environment that undermines it. Stoic philosophy teaches us that the only thing we can truly control is how we respond to situations. While you can't force others to respect you, you can decide not to remain in a place where respect is absent. The most powerful part of walking away is that it's not about creating drama or trying to prove a point. It's a personal decision. It's quiet but resolute, a way of telling yourself, I am worth more than this. Marcus Aurelius emphasized, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Staying in a disrespectful environment is choosing to let others diminish your value. So how do you know when it's time to walk away? It's when you realize that all your efforts to gain respect have been met with indifference. When you feel like you're constantly fighting to be recognized, don't wait until your self-esteem is eroded. Listen to yourself, and if necessary, choose to leave. Because being an absence that's respected is far better than being a presence that's diminished. Walking away is not about surrendering, it's about setting boundaries. Stoic philosophy teaches us not only to control our emotions, but also to protect our sense of worth. The next time you find yourself being devalued, remember that sometimes the most respectful action you can take is to leave the table where your worth isn't recognized. Respect isn't something you beg for. It's something you build by how you decide to treat yourself. I would love to hear about your journey and triumphs. Please hit subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and leave a comment below to share your story, your successes, and even the challenges you've overcome. If you're not sure what to comment, just write "I can do it" to show that you've completed this session. Your engagement helps this community grow toward wisdom and the art of turning every challenge into an opportunity. I'll leave 2 more videos here so you can continue learning and growing on your personal development journey. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.